All right, man.
What's up, man?
You need to say some stuff now.
No. First of all, you have to explain what's going on because some people may not have seen the add until we agree post, and you can explain that after we hit it, Hutch.
You know what it is now, boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
That's right. Welcome back to Until We Agree. Thank you, Hutch. Thank you, Tyler. And I'm Matt. No thanks yet, but I'm going to work for it today. So, welcome back to the show. Like you saw in the pre-show, this is an audio medium. Like you heard in the pre-show, we had a big week on Instagram and TikTok at Until We Agree on both. If you're not following us there, go check it out. Call to action. Give it a share too while you're at it. Anyways, what happened was I got all of my pictures back from the wedding from 3 weeks ago now. We got some preview pictures a few weeks ago, and there was one picture of the previews. You only get like 20 or so from the previews, so you don't get a ton. But one was very funny because Tyler was looking at me very lovingly while all the other groomsmen were not looking at me at all, which is fine. I didn't expect them to. But Tyler claims that it was only because the photographer said that we're supposed to look at Matt and like be happy, but it was only Tyler. So that set off an alarm bell in my head first. Fast forward about 2 weeks, we get our pictures, all of them back in the last week. And go look on Until We Agree on Instagram or TikTok and you'll see everything. But there are, in fact, 8 pictures.
Okay.
8 pictures that
it's a
are...
lineup. It's a lineup of pictures that are, yeah, I get it. They're suspicious.
That look not questionable, but there are certainly questions that were raised from them by the way you were looking at me.
And I'll stop you right there.
Lovingly.
I'll stop you right there.
Okay,
I've already prepared a statement
please.
that I've written, and I just wanted to read to the rats and to you.
Yeah.
So,
come on.
I've seen the photos, and I appreciate everyone's concern. Sometimes a look is just a look, and sometimes it lingers a little longer than it should.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how some might read into it, and while I won't confirm or deny anything, I will say emotions can run high when you spend so much time behind the mic with someone who knows all your cues. And that's you, man.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think it's best we clear the air before the fan fiction writes itself. Or before any vows start to feel negotiable. To my co-host, if there are any administrative obstacles in the way of clarity, I hear annulments are quicker than divorces. Just something to keep in mind for scheduling purposes, of course.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Man, look at you. You wrote that yourself? I know you did because
myself, man.
I know you love annulment so much. No way anything else wrote that for you.
No, nothing would ever write that for me. And if it had, and if it was some sort of artificial intelligence, it was crazy that without even mentioning fan fiction, that it put fan fiction in there. It just wouldn't do something like that, you know?
I appreciate what you had to say. From what I heard, you didn't really say anything, though, besides who knows what happened back there.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm not saying who knows what happened. I'm just saying, like, we know what happened, but we're going to leave it up in the air. That way, it doesn't really interrupt any legal processes.
Right, but say if the legal processes went in a way that benefited you, you'd be cool with that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for a benefit.
That's it.
The studio was quiet after the recording wrapped. Save for the low hum of the mixer and the quiet tap of fingers on a laptop. You lean back in your chair, watching him again. It had become a bad habit. The sideways glance you couldn't quite shake. He laughed too easily, knew your timing too well, and lately, the jokes between segments had started to feel like something else entirely. He looked up, catching your gaze. Again. Another lingering look, he teased, eyebrow raised. Just making sure you're still here. You replied, voice steady. You tend to disappear on weekends. What kind of statement is that? He smiled a little too knowingly. I have obligations. Right. Her. Oh, that's so funny. The word hung between you like the sin of old coffee. Bitter. Inevitable. You turned back to your screen trying to type, but the silence swelled. You knew what the comments were saying, what the photos looked like. The ones he posted without thinking, or maybe with too much thought. You saw the reactions he asked. You nodded. Didn't know we were writing a love story. He leaned in, his voice quieted
Okay,
now.
we're done. We're done. No.
He said we weren't. No, he said we weren't.
All right.
He
no.
said we weren't. No. I'm gonna read the rest. Let me compose myself, please. You looked at him just long enough to let the pause say everything. Then I hope she has a good lawyer. Annulments are faster. I've heard. His breath caught, just enough to register, just enough to confirm something unspoken. He didn't answer, but he didn't deny it either. Somewhere, a red light blinked on the console, recording again. You both smiled, professional, polished, pretending.
Yeah.
For now.
Was that
Would
it?
we like a continuation, a spicier version, or a one told from his wife's perspective by any chance?
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Sounds good, man.
Yeah, just save that one to the cloud or wherever that goes. Man, yeah.
I'm feeling good about this episode.
Yeah, so do with everything the first 6 minutes of this episode as you will, Rat Pack. Welcome back. Speaking of social media, let's take a quick pivot. Do you see what's next on the agenda? This is a big thing for us. Okay.
100. Yes, 100.
Yeah. Do you know what that's for?
Means. Yeah, I know what that means.
Tell me.
Well, 100 is typically a number associated with 100%. And what that would mean in our case is that we are 100% successful.
In a way, yes, because this is a celebration that happened just literally, I think 2 hours ago. We finally hit this. Let's call it 100%. Because we are now officially on our first ever reel, not our first ever reel we posted, but on an at Until We Agree, we are 100% of the way to 100,000 views on one reel on Instagram.
I stopped getting notifications for that Instagram, so I figured the train kind of stopped.
No,
or it was last I saw was at 80K, and
yeah,
so I guess it's still cooking in the algorithm.
Yeah, it's still cooking, and people are still really, really mean to us on it, but. Jokes on them.
Us, by us, you mean you.
Just specifically me, because it is my face, thoughts, and actions on the video alone and by myself. So
that's a big milestone.
Yeah, that's big time. First time hitting 100,000.
It's kind of weird that we only got 100,000 streams there when we get 1 million each week on this podcast.
I know. You would think if everyone was just listening to the podcast, they might as well just head over to Until We Agree on Instagram or TikTok. It's on both. And just give it a like and a listen and a comment on your thoughts. And again.
Well, thank you guys.
I've been thinking about this. Tell your friends about the podcast. Why not? Why not get to 1 million in like 5? You know, like the Rat Pack is inclusive. I'm super inclusive. Tyler's also here, and we would love to have more people in the Rat Pack. So
I'm more inclusive than you.
That's a crazy debate to get into on the show, man.
No, let's talk about
it. That's crazy. No, yeah. Dude, politics just stun locks us every single time.
Yeah, we should talk about politics, actually.
We don't want to touch it in any way. Not me, of course. I'm very secure in my inclusivity and political agenda, but I know
you're very savvy when politics.
The way you lean a little bit to the...
Hey, Rat Pack. Editor Matt here. To no one's surprise, I'm here having to cut out this politics section and the jokes we tried to make around it. Yeah, like we said, no one's less qualified to talk about this. We are not Jaden Smith, so we're just going to leave it alone. Thanks, Rat Pack.
And jokes like that are why you're so less inclusive.
Well, joke's on you.
What, are you going to make fun of me for my bad grammar? Because that would not be very inclusive of you.
Joke's on you. I already cut out that part because I'm the editor and I can control the edit to make me look way better.
Hey, Editor Matt here. This is true and I'm grateful for it every day. Thanks, Rat Pack.
Can I move on to one more administrative task before we get into our 2 debates for the day? We each brought 1 debate forward. But before that, do you want to see what's next on the agenda and read it out loud for us?
No, I see it, and I've been looking forward to it. The future of golf. For those of you who don't know, have you ever seen Full Swing out there?
Who are you
I know you have.
to?
Just the audience. So I'm waiting. Say yes or no verbally. All right, that's a lot of yeses, actually.
Yeah, me too.
So, Sahith Theegala, we know him, we love him, but Matt and I have ordained him as the future of golf.
Yeah.
And you might not understand why, but go just take a peek at his swing. He's like 6'3", swings weird, and he's good at golf.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about him though?
Well,
he didn't do anything special.
Yeah, he did. I have bad news.
Okay.
I fear that we're gonna have to be out on Future of Golf Sahith Theegala.
Why is that? Is it because he was so bad this weekend?
True, but not even. What happened is we follow him on Instagram because back in the day we had a long pipe dream of getting him on the show. Hasn't happened yet. We're keeping our fingers crossed, but maybe not anymore after this because we're having a conflict of interest now. Sahith Theegala posted on Instagram on his story a picture of him drinking an Olipop. And everyone knows we are brand loyal and soon to be sponsored by Poppy.
And I've said this before. I actually have said this before. So if you've heard me say this, just disregard. Olipop is like if somebody drank a Poppy and then diarrheaed it out into a can, and then you drink that. That's what an Olipop tastes like.
Yeah.
So there you go.
This Poppy sponsors. If you're listening, you can use that in your next commercial. But don't bring Sahith Theegala. We're all out on Sahith until he proves otherwise. But that was a bummer for me. That was one of those moments, in life, every now and then you see something shocking and so disappointing that your heart just kind of drops for a second, even though I don't have a real relationship with Sahith Theegala. It's all, what's that word where it's like a relationship with a celebrity you don't know. But
parasocial.
Parasocial. It's always felt very parasocial to me. And it felt like I went through a parasocial breakup with my boy Sahith over the weekend.
I'm not pleased about the news. I'll say that.
Yeah. If he wants to come on the show, I know he's listening. He's one of the 1 million rats. Give us a call and we'll be happy to have you on and you can defend yourself or speak to Olipop, because I'll be honest, I mean, that Poppy hasn't paid the bills yet, so I know we had that whole diarrhea thing earlier, but Olipop,
we can cut that out so easy.
Yeah, so balls in your court, Olipop and Sahith Theegala. Okay, so we got a big week this week personally, so we gotta keep moving through this episode because we gotta get this out to the rats and then move on with our lives until next Tuesday. So you have a debate for me that you wanted to address.
So much of a debate. I just said that I wanted to talk about something, and then you happen to make it into a debate because I guess you disagree, which I guess would not be shocking for us.
Premise of the show.
I hate motivational speakers.
Okay, why?
Because they're just recycling the same garbage every other one of them says. And then, you know who I was thinking of that made me think this, though, specifically?
Your boy Joe Rogan. I know how much you love him.
No, and I wouldn't call him a motivational speaker. Inky Johnson.
Yeah, I hear you. But the Rat
I thought
Pack
you didn't like motivational speakers.
No, the Rat Pack does. I'm saying I hear you, but keep going.
Okay. I'll just never forget, and if Noah's still listening, haven't heard from Noah in a while, if he's still listening, he's involved in this story.
Let's bring him back sometime.
College.
I like
Noah.
Noah.
In college. I could have him defend himself on this maybe. In college, we were in a marketing class, and our teacher brought in a motivational speaker type guy who was just spewing nonsense and like talking about how he is adjacent to was it Tony Robbins? Is that his name? And he's not Tony Robbins.
Is that the one from Frosted Flakes?
No, no, a little different guy. He's not from Frosted Flakes, but he's a motivational speaker, and he looks older.
Okay.
And he smiles too much. But yeah, he's like adjacent to him, and so I guess that's
all
his
those
big
things
aim.
you just described that guy to be are not actual problems, by the way. An older looking guy who smiles.
But it's just like, yeah, whatever. He's too happy, and it's fake. But anyways, this guy's like going through all this garbage, like. But then I don't remember. Noah will remember or should remember because he has notes of this. He was taking notes of this. But
he so would though is the thing.
On the whiteboard, this guy writes some equation, and it was some insane equation. I cannot remember the real thing, but it was equivalent to saying time times money plus effort equals happiness. And he was like breaking it down as if it were math and science. And Noah wrote that down on a piece of paper.
It would be interesting to see if if Noah lives by that, has taken that to be like a personal creed or motto.
I remember making fun of him for writing that down. So I don't
No,
think
that is shameful. That is actually pretty embarrassing.
It would probably was a bit more coherent than what I said, but it wasn't coherent at all.
The formula is the formula, and there's no denying that he did it. In fact, at some point in his motivational speech, say that.
Correct? Yeah, no, he had a formula. He had a formula that didn't make sense. That's for sure.
Yeah, and not even didn't make sense. It's kind of cringe.
Because it's not math. It's just not math.
And I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like there's been enough evidence to support that being the root of happiness in any way. So no, I think what you're talking about is a bad motivational speaker. Kind of corny.
Right. Okay. I guess I hate bad motivational speakers. Yeah.
But like, and my thought is Inky Johnson. I know we were going with that because we are from the Inky Johnson Bible Belt, essentially, where you can't go anywhere without seeing
you've seen him,
a clip of Inky Johnson. And I will be honest, the first time Inky Johnson came to our high school once. I don't know if you were there for that.
I remember. That's the only time I've seen him live.
Right. And I will be honest, I did in fact get goosebumped from Inky Johnson.
I'm sure you did.
Because he has a crazy story, and he is like he's an energetic speaker, motivator,
inspiring guy.
Yeah. The thing is with that, we had seen clips of Inky Johnson before that. And then we saw 1,000 more clips of Inky Johnson after that. The problem is Inky Johnson's job, this is his job, is something that is super repeatable, the same way that you and I have jobs that are super repeatable. You do the same job every day, but you don't go on stage and do the job, right?
See, you are nailing what I guess it's not an issue with Inky Johnson personally, but like, when I see something live and then for the next 10 years also just see clips from the same speech, I'm like, all right, let's give it a rest.
Right. It's like Benson Boone in Beautiful Things, you know?
Right. Let's give it a rest.
The first time you're like, wait a minute, who is this guy? Then you see him do a backflip once and you're like, whoa, he does backflips too. And then one day you wake up and he's just like a bland version of Harry Styles. And you're like, all right.
Okay, this is crazy. Gendick just texted me yesterday asking about why everybody hates Benson Boone, and I told him that everybody says he's a budget Harry Styles.
The thing,
but I do think he's talented.
Yeah, he's so talented. He seems too normal to be going for the Bohemian Rhapsody and Harry Styles vibe though, and I think that's why people are starting to hate him because he's just he seems too bro-y for it, you know?
Ex-Mormon.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, ex-Mormon.
No way. Shout out the X's.
And that's very different from the X-Men. That would be a very cool spin-off though, like the X-Mormon.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of dudes named John Smith with
but shockingly good at basketball somehow.
Yeah, because you know how X-Men from comic books are so good at basketball.
Dude. That is pretty good. Write a letter to Stan on that one. Okay.
Dude, it might not get there.
Probably not. Is that all you had on it seems like you don't hate motivational speakers quite as much as you came on with.
I guess I don't hate the speakers. I hate the profession. Because in my head, I'm just like, I know you just do this every single day and it's all fake, you know?
Yeah. I don't know how they don't get
how motivational is it for them, 2 years into the same speech? They can't be having that good of a time. They're probably burnt out on their own motivational garbage.
Yeah, and think about the coolest. You say you have the coolest job in the world, which there's an argument that being a rock star is the coolest job in the world. I almost feel like I would get tired of singing the same stuff for 40 years, you know. And they have the coolest job in the world.
A job becomes a job by making it not fun anymore.
Right, the Excel sheets are no longer fun for me. You know,
I bet they're not.
I had to grow up with them.
What's the half-life on? Because did you know caffeine has a half-life of 8 hours?
Are you talking about Excel or are you talking about being a rock star?
Caffeine. It has a half-life of about 8 hours. And so what's the half-life of the effects of a motivational speaker speaking to you? No, because if a motivational speaker speaks to you, you're feeling very inspired for maybe 3 hours?
I was going to say 16 minutes.
Okay.
Because think about the half-life. Half-life means every 60 minutes it becomes half as impactful. So
right, so you're saying, yeah,
right? Is that so? Is that what that means? So after 16
you're
minutes,
pumped up for 16 minutes.
I went back
and
to
then you're
algebra 2 after that. You know?
Yeah, because then 16 minutes later, you're feeling good about your day. And then 16 minutes later, you are trying to get out of the parking lot, but it's really crowded. And so you then hate everyone around you again. And then 16 minutes later, you've forgotten about it and you're just listening to Spotify.
Yeah.
And the DJ X is
Uh-huh.
pumping you some garbage
The
that he
same-
says you've never heard,
The
but
same
you
10
have heard
songs over and
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
it. DJ X loves to say his favorite thing is, let me throw you something you haven't heard before. And then he throws something on that I maybe played earlier that day.
Yeah, like 30 minutes prior before
Yeah.
you turned on DJ X, but you're just tired of thinking what you want to listen to. Yeah, so no, I agree with that. And then 6 years later, you'll see a clip on X, the Everything app, and it's Inky Johnson talking about the time he played in a football game and hurt his shoulder. And you're like, okay.
Oh, he had his shoulder?
Dude, it's gonna blow your mind when you hear the Inky Johnson story. You're gonna love it.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
I can give you the full
Keep it
recap
away from
sometime.
me.
Okay, so I'm glad you talked about caffeine for a second because I want to get my debate for the day. I want to get us on to dietetics, nutrition.
I know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say. I want the audience to know, all I can see is the word cookie, and I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay, go on mute and tell the audience.
Okay. All right, so I'm 100% certain that Matt is about to say, because he also said dietitian, so he's going to say he wants one cookie that he can eat every day that has all the nutrients that he's supposed to have. It's like basically like a vitamin, but also food supplement that's just one cookie you eat every day, and then that's like what you eat. All right, I've given the audience my theory. I would like you to explain.
Okay, so this I learned this week, and did you know that Crumbl cookies?
Okay, I think I've gotten something wrong.
Yeah, so
I did know that Crumbl cookies have like 2,000 calories per cookie.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, and they give their serving size as 1/4 of a cookie. So
It's
people
absurd. Yeah.
People blew their mind on that. I almost minored in nutrition, so I'm verified to talk on this. Pretty crazy. Crumbl cookies are one single Crumbl cookie, 2,000 calories. That's like the average daily intake for like us, like on like the low end of humanity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's like a deficit for most people.
I don't even know how. I frankly don't even know how they get that many calories into it. I will be honest, I don't know what I want the debate to be, but it feels like we need to talk about it and argue about it in some way.
Well, I can tell you what I predicted that you would say.
Yeah, tell me.
It's similar, but not what I thought. So I had said that you were going to say that you want a cookie that you could shove all the nutrients you're supposed to get in a day. Like
Okay.
basically like a vitamin and like meal all in one cookie.
Mm-hmm.
That just has all the calories you need for the day, all the nutrients you need for the day, and you eat it once per day. So that's what I thought you were going to say. And that's what you have in Crumbl cookies if all you want is sugar and garbage.
Right, yeah.
But
if you were to just
Yeah.
eat sugar and garbage, but also only eat like not enough food for the whole day, it's a very interesting dichotomy what you're saying. That's what Crumbl cookie would be for you. And they come in packs of what, like 4, don't they? I haven't had Crumbl in quite some
more
time.
than that, I've sent them around. Yeah, you can get as many as you want, really. It's a problem though. And the worst part is, it's okay. There's a very weird genre of desserts that it's like, I'm eating this because I think I should like it, and I never do.
Yeah, and
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, the thing, and
That's Crumbl cookie.
what's crazy about Crumbl cookie, and this is like truly crazy, is cookie is maybe the most popular dessert in the entire world. I don't know, like maybe.
One of them. It's up there.
I think there's an argument it's top 5 for sure, maybe top 3, but it's so easy. That's the other point. Cookie, popular, easy, always pretty good. Like a bad cookie is still pretty good.
And feel free to use more words.
I'm going to watch this. Crumbl cookie, popular cookie, maybe most popular, and they make mid cookie? How?
Okay. Here, hold on. Let me
Yeah, break
pause
that
it
down
real
for
quick.
us.
I think. Let me. Here, can I FaceTime you? I want to make sure one side of your face isn't drooping.
Dude, I told you we gotta get done with this episode. So
Dude, then why are you talking like that?
you said to use more words, so I wanted to push back and use fewer words.
Okay.
Dude,
Well, I
that
don't know
was
what you
also,
want me to say.
rude, offensive, by the way.
Offensive. That was offensive.
So
I'm
what-
inclusive.
my
I wanted to
take-
make sure that you were okay.
Yeah, that's the Tyler way. So my take.
That's. Anyways. No, and keep this pause in because you've been paused for 5 seconds now.
Dude, this is just me and you. That was
Okay.
freaking messed
Uncalled
up.
for.
Yeah.
Uncalled for sure.
Pardon my language, but that was freaking insane of you to do.
You know what? Here, I'm gonna personally apologize to you right now.
Okay.
1 second.
I'm getting a call. 1 second. All right, it's answered.
Sounds good. This is gonna sound terrible on audio, but I apologize.
All right, thank you. I forgive you. All right, bye.
And until we
Hey.
agree first.
Dude, that's gonna sound disgusting.
That's
Sorry.
gonna sound
everyone,
luck.
everyone just clicked off the podcast. If you're still listening, we appreciate it. But my final take on it, that maybe Tyler didn't pick up because I used too many words. Fewer words if I can do it. No, I'll use the right amount of words. Crumbl cookie is the most popular cookie brand. Cookie is the most popular dessert, one of the most popular desserts in the world. How does Crumbl cookie make mid cookie?
Yeah, it's just mid. Yeah, okay. So I don't know how they do it. I think they just instead of quality, they just pump more sugar in, so it's like really sweet. I don't know because it
Maybe.
really is just like okay. Every time I've had Crumbl, I'm like I'm ready for like something good, but then it's just mid cookie.
Yeah. Maybe here's the thing. This is right up your alley. Crumbl cookie may just be winning in marketing. At the end of the day, marketing controls the world, and they just have really good marketing because one week you'll be eating just the most average chocolate chip cookie you've ever had in your entire life. That also is apparently 2,000 calories. But then the next week, Olivia Rodrigo is like twerking on a cookie, and you're like, oh, okay.
Right, that makes sense. Well, if all the rats want a cookie, I'll tell you where to get a cookie. Go to Target, your nearest Target.
No way.
And if it's not there right now, it should be soon. The s'mores cookie that they have in Target, their bakery makes them, the Favorite Day Bakery. It's insane. It's an insane cookie. It's so good.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, shout out Target. For
Not
real.
sponsored, by the way. But I would love to. I would be accepting any and all inquiries.
Yeah, we're truly at a point where we're pretty desperate for funds. So I mean,
Help us.
We'll play any side of the plate. Truly, we don't care. Okay, let's move on to Q&A. Why not?
Are you asking me to do something?
I did say why not, which is a question. Yeah.
Well, of course. Well, I'll tell you why not. Because Kim has a question.
Yeah.
What would your ideal toothpaste flavor be if it couldn't be mint?
Dude,
Now.
I know what yours would be.
Yeah, what would that be?
Probably like cigarettes and fruit punch or something.
I love cigarettes and fruit punch, man.
Dude,
You know me, man.
that's so you, man.
Yeah. Well, I know what yours would be.
Tell me.
I don't know if I can say it.
No, go ahead and say it.
I don't know if I can say it.
There's gonna be an edit, so it's okay. There's no edit. This is real time. Exactly how I had to deal with this.
Okay. Yours would be probably like.
Yeah, what is it, man?
Dude, hold on. Dude, you're making me laugh.
No, you're cool. You're cool. Take your time.
And this isn't me stalling because I haven't thought about the question yet.
Okay.
I promise.
Yeah, no,
No.
I can tell you've got something on the tip of your tongue.
Yours would probably be. Dude, I don't know.
You don't actually have an answer?
No idea. I was just joking. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
fine. Yeah, I'll say it.
Yeah, go for
my bad. Yours would probably be like.
Hey, Rat Pack. Editor Matt here one more time. This episode quickly goes off the rails. I don't want to point fingers, but it was definitely Tyler. I don't know how it's going to end up, but here's the rest of the episode. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, Rat Pack.
No, actually, that brings me to something else. I don't know if you saw it until we agree. The great P. Diddy, as Matt called him, left him a little voicemail
Look, man.
on our story. Can you play that, Matt? Can you just play that?
No, I'm not going to play it. I don't have
All
time.
right, cut it in here. Hit it, Diddy. All right, thanks, Diddy.
I don't know how you do it. Every time I ask for like a simple episode where we just go back and forth and just get through it, so I don't have to do as much editing. You just require the most possible editing ever. and it drives
Dude,
me.
and if the most possible
crazy.
editing is dragging in a 14-second clip, then I
Bro,
apologize.
you know I'm not gonna
Thank you
bring
for your
that-
services, and you'll be nominated for the Oscar, man. You're so good at editing, bro.
Dude, you know that was so mean. That you know I'm not bringing that clip in. We're never hearing that. No one's ever
Dude.
hearing that clip ever again.
Do you want to bet?
No, because you're
Here.
mean.
How about this? How about we don't need. Oh shit! I deleted it.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
Can I find it though? Can I get it?
No,
anywhere?
man, it's over. Sorry, it's over. Just like this week's episode of Until We Agree. We
Oh,
wanna thank
never
you-
mind.
We want to thank you.
I wouldn't worry about it. Hold on one second.
Personally love Matt from
No,
Until
we
Agree.
want to thank
Just
you
wanna
for
put that out
listening,
there.
and we'll see
Cannot
you
wait
next
to see him
week.
again after all this legal
Thanks,
mess
Rat
is
Pack.
over.
Thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Back on post credit. Let's go.